Did you know some vegetables can trigger high blood pressure? It's surprising, isn't it? When we think of vegetables, we often consider them the epitome of health. But like all things in life, it's not quite so black and white. Certain veggies, due to their nutritional composition, can actually contribute to increased blood pressure. Let's take potatoes, for example. They're high in sodium and starch, which can cause fluid retention and break down into simple sugars, both of which can negatively impact blood pressure. Or consider tomatoes, spinach, beets, and even eggplants. They all contain substances that in some individuals may contribute to hypertension. Now this doesn't mean you should stop eating these vegetables altogether. They're still packed with lots of beneficial nutrients. But it does mean that if you're watching your blood pressure, you might want to be a bit more mindful of your consumption. So, are you ready? Let's dive in and find out which vegetables might be culprits. First on our list is a staple in many households, the potato. This humble vegetable, often associated with comfort food, may not be as innocent as it seems. You see, potatoes are packed with sodium and starch, two elements that can play a significant role in increasing blood pressure levels. Sodium, for instance, can lead to fluid retention in the body. This means that your body holds on to extra water, increasing the volume of your blood, which then causes your blood pressure to rise. On the other hand, the starch in potatoes breaks down into simple sugars. These sugars, when consumed in large quantities, can also negatively impact your blood pressure. Now this doesn't mean you have to eliminate potatoes from your diet entirely, but it's important to be mindful of how much you're consuming. Remember, moderation is key. So, while potatoes are a tasty comfort food, they could be raising your blood pressure. Next up is a favorite in salads and sauces, the tomato. This vibrant red fruit, yes, it's a fruit, not a vegetable, might seem like a healthy choice. But did you know it could be contributing to elevated blood pressure? Tomatoes are high in sodium, a well-known culprit when it comes to hypertension. But that's not all. They also contain a considerable amount of tyramine. Tyramine is an amino acid that can cause our blood vessels to constrict. When our blood vessels tighten, it becomes harder for blood to flow, increasing the pressure in our circulatory system. This is like trying to push a large amount of water through a narrow hose. It increases the pressure. Canned and processed tomato products are usually the biggest offenders, often loaded with extra sodium. So while tomatoes add a burst of flavor to our meals, they could also be adding to our blood pressure levels. So next time you reach for a tomato, remember it might be adding to your blood pressure. Now let's turn to a leafy green that's often touted for its health benefits, spinach. This vibrant vegetable is packed with vitamins and minerals, but it also comes with a surprising twist. Spinach is high in oxalates, naturally occurring substances found in numerous foods. Here's where it gets interesting. Oxalates have a unique tendency to bind with calcium. When this happens, they create a compound that the body can't absorb. This leads to a decrease in calcium levels, and this is where the potential problem arises. Calcium plays a crucial role in regulating blood pressure. When calcium levels drop, it could potentially trigger hypertension, also known as high blood pressure. But that's not all. Spinach also contains tyramine, an amino acid that can cause blood vessels to constrict, potentially leading to an increase in blood pressure. So, while spinach is full of nutrients, it might not be the best choice for those with high blood pressure. Fourth on our list is a vegetable that's often used in juices and salads, the beet. This vibrant root vegetable has a hidden side that may surprise you. Beets are known to be high in tyramine, an amino acid that can cause blood vessels to constrict, leading to an increase in blood pressure. But that's not all. Beets also contain natural sugars. In some sensitive individuals, these sugars can cause blood pressure spikes, making beets a potential double threat. Moreover, beets are packed with nitrates. While this might sound beneficial as our bodies convert some nitrates into nitric oxide, a compound that helps to relax and dilate blood vessels, there's a catch. The same nitrates can also have a blood pressure raising effect, particularly when consumed in large quantities. So it's a bit of a balancing act with beets. They offer some great nutritional benefits, but if you're watching your blood pressure, you might want to monitor your intake. So, while beets are packed with vitamins, they could be raising your blood pressure. Last but not least, we have the eggplant. This purple, glossy vegetable is a staple in many cuisines around the world, from the Italian eggplant parmesan to the Middle Eastern baba ganoush. But did you know that eggplants might be a hidden source of hypertension? Yes, that's right, eggplants are high in a compound known as solanine. This naturally occurring substance can lead to small increases in blood flow, which in turn can trigger a rise in blood pressure. But the story doesn't end there. Eggplants are also rich in tyramine and other vasoactive substances. These compounds can cause blood vessels to constrict, further increasing blood pressure. And to add the cherry on top, eggplants belong to the nightshade family of plants. which are known to be problematic for those dealing with hypertension. So, while eggplants make a great addition to many dishes, they could be contributing to high blood pressure. To recap our discussion today, we've taken a close look at 5 everyday vegetables: potatoes, tomatoes, spinach, beets, and eggplants, and their rather surprising impact on blood pressure. Starting with potatoes, we've learned that their high sodium and starch content can cause fluid retention and break down into simple sugars, both of which can negatively impact blood pressure. Then, we've explored how tomatoes, rich in sodium and tyramine, can cause blood vessels to constrict, leading to a rise in blood pressure. We've also delved into spinach's high oxalate content, which can trigger hypertension by decreasing calcium levels. Beets, with their high tyramine and natural sugars, can cause blood pressure spikes in sensitive individuals, while the solanine, tyramine, and other vasoactive substances in eggplants can increase blood flow and trigger high blood pressure. Remember, it's always important to monitor your diet and consult your doctor if you have any concerns about your blood pressure.